now is the time to begin planning. Now is the time to assess what we have. The renewable energy technologies are there.
With members of the Guam Energy Task Force present, Interior Assistant Secretary Tony Babauta presented the Guam Energy Assessment Report at the University of Guam. His Insular Affairs Office paid $1 million for the National Renewable Energy Laboratory to find out how the island can become more energy efficient and utilize renewable sources of energy as oil prices continue on an upwards trend. Some of the report highlights NREL's Adam Warren notes is a 20% energy drop in residential use over a several-year period, but a 44% rise in costs. He says this is part of the urgency to reduce fossil fuel dependency because if nothing changes, that oil dependency will continue to increase.
All this work with energy efficiency and renewable energy over the next decade here in Guam. One big purpose of doing that is to take control of your energy future so this doesn't continue to happen over the next 10 years.
Warren says some of the report recommendations include goals to work with the Energy Task Force on building codes efficiency, wind power, and painting roofs for cooling, among other things. He also comments on the top energy consumption uses in Guam homes and the need to switch to renewable options.
It's really hot water heating and air conditioning are two big uses in the home. So we'll talk about wind and solar and big things on a utility scale, but even small things like solar hot water heaters in the home can have a tremendous impact on the amount of energy used in homes.
The U.S. Virgin Islands is facing similar challenges to Guam. Its Governor John DeYoung says the Virgin Islands is in the midst of a huge goal to reduce dependency on fossil fuels from 99% to 60% by 2025. To accomplish this feat, he mentions their government had to make structural changes from within and work closely with their lawmakers.
So we work very closely with our legislators to be able to manage expectations and resources that were necessary. We also, at the same time, use some of the stimulus monies that was passed as part of the Obama administration's program, and we decided that we would make the investment in those programs towards this objective. I also took our energy office and moved it from being a division of a department and moved it up to a cabinet level. So at that point, the director of the energy office was a direct report to me.
DeYoung adds collaboration between the government, commercial and small businesses, and residential communities is key for energy-saving programs to work.
What you find very clearly is that the cost of energy within an island nation is something you have no control over unless you actually implement this sort of a program.
While the UOG panel had questions about the Virgin Islands ratepayer costs, efficient transportation plans, and its energy outreach campaign, DeYoung and Babauta made it clear Guam is not alone. Babauta also says with tough economic times, doing more with less is the idea for Guam's Energy Task Force to develop a strategic energy plan for the future.
It's clear that when you start talking about implementing efficiency, implementing renewable energies in communities, it begins with vision, leadership, and also communication and education within the community. Hopefully, this is where we're getting to with the Guam Energy Task Force.